Sathyam Sivam Sundaram, Volume 3, Chapter 10. The All in All. My mission is to raise the consciousness of man to a level at which he neither rejoices nor mourns over anything. In that supreme state, one is going through rebirth and re-death each moment, for these acts are one and the same, emerging from formless into form, merging from form into formless. Then there is no success, no adversity, no joy or pain. Ayn Rand, editor of magazine Objectivist, writes, conventional morality does not teach or show the child what kind of man he ought to become and why. It is only concerned with imposing a set of rules upon him, arbitrary, bewildering, contradictory, and more often than not incomprehensible. The child grows up with nothing but resentment and fear for any conception of morality. Ethics appear to him only a phantom scarecrow demanding the drab performance of dry duty. The examples set by adults are not meaningful enough to point the proper yardsticks of behavior. No wonder the child are attracted towards Baba, who bestows pure love upon those who seek it. The American come to me since they do not know a mother's love, said Baba one day. Baba is Shiva and Shakti, father and mother. Villuri Sivarama Shastri states thus, no one can understand, but everyone can benefit from him. Science cannot define. Logic dealing with cause and effect cannot grasp. Its pristine glory is unique. It overshadows the fleeting shadows. Only the wise and the pure in heart can abide in it. Matter seems less material, mind less mental. Only Atma prevails. Each one sees an aspect of its innumerable facets. Enough if we know a little, but we have never enough. This is so near us and yet so far away. The love that Sai manifests pales into insignificance, the love of every mother in the universe gathered together. Shivarama Shastri is no ordinary observer. At the age 16, he rose to a fame as prodigy, a poet of dazzling merit. He was one of few prodigies that have blossomed. He was an outstanding scholar, critic, teacher, versed in intricacies of yoga, tantras, and Vedantas. He wrote bold and brilliant treatises of Adhyasa, conception of Shankaracharya, and the integral yoga of Aurobindo. Universities competed with each other in honoring themselves by including his name on the board of studies in Sanskrit. At the age of 75, he came to Baba, enjoying close contact for more than 6 years before he dropped like a ripe fruit from the tree of life. Shastri attained renown as a writer who weighs every word of his in a super electronic balance of truth. So when he says that love of Baba as a mother supersedes the love of all mothers, he must be speaking with genuine sincerity. Therefore, Mother Festival or the Shera, which is celebrated in the immediate presence of Baba, is supremely sanctifying. During this 9-day festival of Mother, the 3 first days are devoted to worshipping the Mother as guardian. The next 3 days, Mother is worshipped as provider, and during the last 3 days, Mother is worshipped as teacher. Victoria Mills addressed Baba significantly. This is your dream, Mother. A dream of purple flowers and blue skies, a dream of pleasure, a dream of pain, a dream of bodies moving in the passing hours, a dream of mind, churning desires. In thy love, let us live again. The Shera is the occasion where Mother as Baba or Baba as the Mother provides us various inducements to progress spiritually. Sanatan Dharma, of course, has entire harmony required to conquer the foes on the path and help us march towards the final triumph. One day is spent in celebrating the annual day of the hospital so that the vehicle of soul may be kept trim and efficient to enable it to cross the ocean of duality and merge into the one. On another day, the distressed and the destitute are given clothes and feasted. Baba has assigned to each one of us a role to play, designed and directed by him on the stage of life. On some days, the compositions of the great singers of India are sung, granting to the listeners a state of unclouded exaltation. On other days, we get a chance to witness plays based on age old tales of gods and goddesses, full of aesthetic incidents enacted by little children, and so they can taste innocence flowing from innocent lips. These plays are written by Baba himself, and so they convey to us the lessons he prescribed for the cure of our mental ills. We are inspired to preserve, despite odds, the moral ideals in the confusing conflicts of our lives. On the stage and the scene, away from the Nilium, we only see crime, perversion, and pollution dramatized, whereas in a abode of peace, everything is designed to elevate, sublimate, and save. There are musical recitations and expositions of philosophical parables and mystery tales. Discourses on Veda and Vedanta are given by Pandits who had believed that they had comprehended what is beyond comprehension until they met Baba. On the mandap or sacrificial enclosure at one end of the auditorium, the adoration of Veda Purusha, the deity extolled in the Vedas, continues for 7 days without break. The fire is adored as sacred, for it ignites and illuminates, it destroys and purifies, it burns and burnishes, it spreads and shines. It moves fast from one victim to another, so it is praised and fed with hymns of praise. The sun is the giver of life and energy. It nips a day off from our allotted span of life with every sunset. So it is worshipped by continuous prostration, repeating each time hymns of extolment. Others can visualize God in an expansive banyan tree, timeless, self propelling through roots dropped from every branch, providing shade and shelter for bird and beast, and conferring beauty and health to the entire region. Hymns are also uttered to the spirit of trees. Some of us prefer as a symbol of God neither fire nor sun nor the living laborious brother called banyan tree, but the linga. During the Shera, a Pandit can be seen on the altar at the auditorium, shaping 1000 lingas every day, and after worshipping them with the utmost devotion, rolling the black clay back into a ball for use the next day. The permanent static base, pure existence, is Shiva. Its projection as dynamic energy is Shakti. Bhagawan Ramana Maharishi used to write an O at the beginning of the letter he sent to people, says Yogi Shuddhananda Bharati. Maharishi explained it as the lingam, the symbol of the ultimate principle, which is beyond the triple entities of life, world, and God. Others might be thrilled by more elaborate representations of the might, majesty, and magnificence of God. For them, Baba arranges puja for Durga, Lakshmi, and Saraswati with flowers, incense, camphor, sandal paste, silk, and gold. A few might be elated by the recital of the most mystic sound Om with all its undertones and hidden possibilities. This joy persuaded us to take the first step in sadhana, spiritual endeavor, facilitating a pursuit till the goal is reached. Baba himself announced on the opening day of the Shera, to celebrate the Shera at Prashanti Nilayam is indeed a rare chance, replete with wonder and joy, ensuring peace by extinction of the six inner enemies. His mission is to put mankind again on the rails of peace and joy. So, when the Honorable Minister for Transport, Andhra Pradesh, announced that he would shortly initiate steps to improve the roads to Prashanti Nilayam and make it a tarred highway, Baba said, the body looks forward to a smooth drive over a tarred road, but the heart prefers the road of tranquility and humility so that it may reach the goal, God, and merge in that ocean of glory. I am more interested in that road. I am not enthusiastic about tarring the road, for that would make even the little discipline of slow and careful driving superfluous for people coming here. Life is not all smooth sailing, it is full of ups and downs, sharp turns, and sudden diversions. India has always taught the first lesson in safe travel here and hereafter. Start early, drive slowly, reach safely. Since thousands of devotees had to sleep under the sky, piling their belongings around their bed, the rain had poured during the nights caused a great deal of discomfort and dislocation. Referring to these, Baba said, people came running to me saying, Swami, stop the rains. Well, getting a little wet is a trivial bother when compared to the benefits of timely rains. The Veda Purusha Yagna is celebrated to persuade the gods to shower rains, that is its raison d'etre, as Vedas assert. While the rites is on, the rains have come. It demonstrates that the Pandits did the Yagna on strict Vedic lines. The rains will ensure a good harvest and prosperity for the countryside. On the 20th October 1969, the valedictory rite of the Yagna was performed. Baba created a 9-gem necklace for the chief priest who officiated. He was scholar in Vedanta and Vedic grammar. During the Abhisheka or ritual bath of the image of the previous incarnation, the Sai Baba of Shirdi, Baba created a sparkling 8-starred jewel of gold and placed it on the forehead of the silver idol. It stuck. Dr. S. Bhagawantham and Mr. Tideman Johansson, who were among the audience, wondered at this. How could gold stick on silver without adhesive? Baba knew their thoughts. He told them a few hours later, without their asking him or anyone telling him, if I can create the jewel, I can. Can I not make it stick too? When you doubt one incident, you start doubting all. Accept me for what I am, then no doubt can interfere with your faith. You complain God is hard hearted, that he does not respond to prayer, or give signs from his portrait, or speak from nowhere to assuage or assure. But let me tell you, God is love. Love is God. When there is no response, you have to infer that the cries from your heart is insincere. It is mere play acting. It is set to a pattern addressed to someone alien to you, someone accepted by you as a far away tyrant or a taskmaster. know that God is your nearest and dearest kin. On the 21st, when Baba was on the floral jhula, a number of poets recited poems that he painted in their heart. Dipala Pichaya Shastri, Begum Tahira Saeed, the writer, Vidwan Rama Sharma, Vidwan Sheshma Raju, and others. They were in multitude of languages: English, Urdu, Kannada, and Sanskrit. Baba advised them to see the handiwork of the God, the greatest poet of all, in every grain of dust, every twinkle of light, every drop of rain, every whisk of air. Great poets deal with eternal thirst of man for God. They are rich in ambrosia that quenches that thirst. They satisfied and build up strength to laugh at life's fortune. Without spiritual sadhana, the expansion of consciousness, the broadening of sympathy, the sharpening of vision, the deepening of contact with springs of wisdom within oneself and within others, the poetry is but a purposeless, pallid pastime. 7th of November will be remembered as a landmark in history of Women's College at Anantapur. For on that day, amidst colourful scenes of grace and glory, the Vice President of India laid the foundation for a magnificent building. Dr. S. Bhagavatam welcomed Vice President Shri G. S. Pathak as well as Governor of Andhra Pradesh Shri Khandubai Desai, who laid the foundation stone for the college hostel and said, I have considerable experience in raising colleges all over the country. I am wonderstruck when I consider how, within a year and a half, this college has gone ahead with 300 students and full complement of library, laboratories, annexities, and a gas plant too. Baba says that no task on which he sets his heart can fail. His will is supreme. Dr. V.K. Gokak said, at a time when disorder has become the order of the day, this college will transmit, under the guidance of the Master, the lesson of order. The Vice Chancellor of the Venkateshwar University said, Sathya Sai Trust managing this college has a symbol which reveals the core of Indian culture, the kingship and the closeness of manifold philosophies, religions, and ideologies formed by the aspiring mind of man. Dr. Shri Khandubai Desai also appreciated the symbol as a sign of genuine secularism. Secularism does not mean irreligion, it means real religion. And real religion recognizes all faith as facets of the truth. The vice president said that the day was a day of devotion and delight for him. I am happy to find that the trust has taken note of the needs of the nation. The next generation has to be shaped straight and strong so that it efficiently bears the burden of this vast country. We want disciplined, enlightened people to assume national and international responsibilities. Baba spoke of his resolve to establish such colleges in every state of India. By Sankalpa, plan of action is to provide youth with education which, while cultivating the intelligence, will purify the impulses and emotions and equip them with physical and mental discipline, which can awaken the spring of calmness and joy in their heart. Their higher nature has to be fostered and encouraged to blossom by means of study, prayer, sadhana, contact with sages, saints, spiritual heroes, and heroines of their land. They have to be led on the path of self knowledge. Baba blessed the college with these words. May this college educate generations of noble mothers who will live Dharma, raise heroes charged with dedication to God and devotion to truth. November 23rd is birthday of Baba, but as Baba told Penn in one of his transoceanic lesson, it is not my birthday that you celebrate, it is your own. And again, my mission is to raise the consciousness of man to a level at which he neither rejoices nor mourns over anything. In that supreme state, one is going through rebirth, re-death each moment, for these acts are one and the same, emerging from formless into form, merging from form into formless. Then there is no success or adversity, no joy or pain. When devotee attains this oneness, his journey towards me ceases, for he will be with me endlessly. The 1969 birthday was marked by another event, namely the third All India Conference of the Office Bearer of the Units of Sri Satya Sai Seva organization. The delegates were happy that conference was to be at Nilyam in the very center of Prashanti, higher priest, and the host was no less a person than Bhagawan himself. At Madras, during the first conference, Baba had allowed the delegates to share his gracious presence during most hours of the day. At Bombay, during the World Conference, Baba moved around the hostel where the delegates were accommodated and was present at the dining hall on most of the days. Besides, Baba had invited them to Dharmakshetra and he took groups of them round the building, explaining to them the significance of the number of steps, pillars, concrete wind cups, etc., to the happy edification of the uninitiated. The number was 9, multiples of 9 added up to 9, as was necessary in the building that symbolizes Satya, truth, or Brahman, the ultimate truth, which numerical symbol whose numerical symbol is 9. When third conference was being held in the lap of Prashanti Nilyam under the loving and watchful eye of Baba himself. The conference began on 20th November with more than 2000 delegates from all the states of India and also representatives from Ceylon, Australia, Fiji, America, Europe, and Africa. The presidents of organizations of each state gave short summaries of the various lines of activities in their area. It was heartening and instructive recital, for each state could contribute some fruitful ideas of seva and sadhana to the rest. Baba explained that the Sai organization is unique in more respects than one. It does not seek donation and patrons. It works under a master who is present everywhere at all times, and so the organization is only a name for a group of people who carry on work that would win his grace in a spirit of worship. There is no scope here for malingering personal rivalry or virus of vanity or envy. Baba said, there are associations of aspirants. Pay attention to your duty and responsibilities. Do not infect yourself with caste affiliations, personal prejudice, or political predilections. I see you through and through wherever you are. Do not carry your head high and taunt people. Stoop so that you can lift the burden on to your shoulders. Serve so that you may be example and an aspiration. Follow so that you can lead seekers into the heart of God. Be humble, be cordial with all. Devotion should not be publicized. It should not end with acquisition of a badge which decorates the shirt. It is a secret gain, a precious boon. While conference was considering the recommendations of the four subcommittees which dealt with organizational matters, spiritual activities, publication of signed literature, Mahila Vibhag, and service activities, Baba counseled that devotees should not seek concession and exemptions from participations in the activities set out by the Samitis, but on contrary, look forward to the chance provided by Sai organizations for satsang. It was resolved that members must attend at least 60% of such meetings. It was also emphasized that there must be unanimity in the choice of office bearers. The office bearers should behave as torch bearers, reflecting in their behavior the light of his wisdom. The Sai organization should try to reduce and remove the hurdles and handicaps in the way of spiritual progress. Its members should be ennobled by tolerance, truth speaking, and compassion, and saturated with love for all. Whoever neglects his parents and allows them to languish in poverty or sorrow does not deserve to be a member. Carry the message of self realization through sadhana of service among the women, the youth, and the children. Encourage the formation of active groups of women who will take up the teaching of children, develop seva dals. Addressing the valedictory session of the conference on the 22nd of November, Baba said, "Let me end on this note. Do not doubt your destiny. It is to merge in the highest wisdom, power, and love. Do not waver or stay away. At every step, inquire, discriminate, and search for truth. Be self reliant, bold, and free. Know that you are instruments of God in a divine task, and so there is no justification for weakness or vacillation. Be an example to others in humility and devotion. Do not scatter advice without the authority of practical experience. Love, cooperate, serve. Your office is a call for spiritual exercise, a reminder of your being under my care and direction." The conference was a baptism of faith for the participants. It revealed to them the divine love of which Baba is the embodiment. He was the person on whom all eyes rested, all ears were focused, all minds dealt, all hearts poured adoration. He sat among members of the subcontinents during their deliberations and shed light and laughter on suggestion pompously placed and assiduously argued upon. He moved among delegates, scattered grace. He met the representatives statewise for hours at stretch and amidst rolls of laughter and brilliant banter. He smothered rivalry, suppressed fractionalism, softened fanatism, and sweetened bitterness. In spite of being concerned with every detail of diet, agenda, seating, and discussion, he was the very picture of freshness and light. To see him was to learn the lesson of selfless activity. To hear him was a yearn for grace and for the chance to share his task. To touch his feet was to charge oneself with strength and courage to face the world and its challenges. The delegates stayed on for the birthday celebration on 23rd and 24th November. The day I am born in you as love, that day is my birthday for you, Baba announced on the 23rd. He reminded the 15,000 people who sat before the Nilyam to witness the hoisting of the flag that there is the Shiva Shakti born in human form to lead mankind towards him. When Baba declared that each individual as a flower in the garden of God, drawing strength from earth and beauty from sun, one was reminded of the poem sung by Sri Das Ganu Maharaj while expounding the life and teachings of the previous body of Baba. The bukul, lotus, chrysanthemum, rose, mongra, malti, jai, jausi, chameli, dawan, marva, punch. Such a variety of flowering plants bloom together in a garden and make it grand. All flowers spring from earth and return to earth, from which they sprang, and after they re enter, there is no more distinction. Religion is a perpetual encounter of the individual with the universal and a persistent invitation which insists on acceptance, said Baba. Those who have tasted the sweetness of that invitation from Baba know that He is the Lord who, as He Himself sang in the introductory verse of His birthday discourse, commands the sun to illuminate, the stars to lend brilliance to the sky, the wind to blow and bolster life, rivers to meander murmuring on, the fire to reduce everything to irreducible ash, and million species of living things to populate the earth and sea, proclaiming the might and majesty of the Lord. We have heard of gifts being given to a person on his birthday, but to Lord who is amongst us, what can we give? Therefore, Baba gave gifts to us on 23rd November. We sat in long lines all over the grounds of Prashanti Nilayam, and he gives each one a packet of sweets with loving word or a charming smile as a keepsake forever. During these festivals, after every discourse, he sings few bhajan songs with which he activates devotion and faith among the thousands. His songs are genuine Murali Gana, that is to say, replicas of the magic music which flowed from the flute of Krishna on the banks of Yamuna. The water of Yamuna forget to flow and halted in ecstasy when the flute conveyed the breath of the Lord to them. It is the nature of water to flow, so the Chitravati at Prashanti Nilayam has freed itself of water so that it can listen to Baba's voice without the bother of halting and holding still. A devotee writes, in the blissful joy of listening to his melodious voice extolling the glory and majesty of divinity, one forgets all the care and distractions of living. One is released from the prison of time and space. On 31st December 1969, Baba was in the midst of delegates from all the units of Satya Sai Seva organization in Mysore and called them lovingly as instruments of his divine mission of Dharma Sthapana. While presidents of each district were presenting their reports, Baba was standing at the furthest end of the Shamiana instead of sitting on the chair placed for him on the dais. In explanation, he said, my place is among you, with you, and wherever work lies. Do not believe that I am on a special seat apart, distant on a pedestal. I am part of you, partner and partaker, inspiring, instructing. When you ask me or need me for inspiration and instruction, do not exude pride. He advised the workers. Spiritual pride is the most poisonous variety of pride. It is the highest of hypocrisy. Fear too is a spiritual poison, for when you have it in your heart, the person who declares that you need not fear Why should you fear? If you do, your lips belly your heart. An uneasy conscience is a torment. If there is righteousness in the heart, there will be beauty in the character, said Baba. If there is beauty in character, there will be harmony in the home. When there is harmony in the home, there will be order in the nation. When there is order in the nation, there will be peace in the world. So be righteous in speech, thought, and action. Avoid all prejudices on basis of caste, creed, color, status, or degree of scholarship or affluence. That was the directive with which the delegates returned to their place of work. Within few days, Baba inaugurated a Mahila Satsang under the auspices of organizations and the advice. He then vouchsafed to women workers has far reaching implications. Baba has come to clarify Dharma, mark out the bounds of behavior, prescribe laws and limits of conduct so that the vagaries may be controlled and sublimated. He said, let the satsang start with your homes. Let your homes be happy, harmonious, with no friction, faction, frills, fanfare, or fantasism. Let different generation live in the house with varying level of intelligence, experience, growth and attainment, earnings, taste or prejudice. Learn to live together in mutual cooperation, tolerance and living kindness. Each one of you must do your part in ensuring that your home has the fragrance of the satsang charged with the science atmosphere. Learn to put up with different opinions, different temperaments, develop the desire to understand others, be sympathetic towards them, be happy when others are happy, be compassionate when others are sorrowing, engage yourself in seva, go into the slums, the hospitals, and the jail, the remand homes where the delinquent children are housed. Seva is better than even dhyana as a sadhana. Dil mein Ram, haath mein Kam. Perform your duty with God installed in your heart. Mahashivratri 1970. A flood of devotees flowed into Prashanti Nilayam. There was tremendous rush but absolute silence. Baba told the young men and women of Seva Dals selected by the Satya Sai Seva Smitis from the different state of India, you yearn to do some seva in my name, don't you? Well, I have 1,000 heads, eyes and feet. The Vedas proclaim that God has Sarasra Shirsha Purushaha. He has 1,000 heads, the thousands who come here, the aged, the children, the diseased, the afflicted, they are all me. Serve them, you serve me. Baba hoisted the flag on the Nilayam and said that loyalty to higher truths has to be built up from childhood, even through the lessons learned while in mother's lap. At noon, the creation of the huge stream of vibhuti caused wonder and amazement, even to those who know that it was part of the Shivratri festival. In the evening, Shri Nakul Sen, ICS, Lieutenant Governor of Goa, Dr. Gokak, and Dr. D. Venkata Vadhanalu, Professor of Telugu, Osmania University, addressed the gathering. Baba's compassion led him to begin his discourse with a Sanskrit verse meaning, I am not a human being, or a god, or a superman. I am neither a Brahman, nor a Kshatriya, nor a Vaishya, or nor a Shudra. Then you may ask me, who am I? Well, I am the teacher of truth. I am truth, God, goodness, and beauty. During the discourse, the linga that was growing in the stomach of Baba since about a week announced itself as ready to emerge, and so Baba sat on the chair. The huge gathering sensed the cosmic undertone of the movement and sang with eager excitement a song in praise of Shiva, the god represented by linga, for whom Shivaratri was dedicated. 15 minutes later, a heavy oval linga of substance akin to an opal came up and out. The enormous gathering shouted Jai in adoration and uncontrollable bliss when Baba held it in his hand for all to see. Throughout the night, bhajan continued. Divine offspring was placed in full view of all, so that it may inspire them in their vigil and fast. The next day, when bhajan ended, Baba himself gave consecrated food to the devotees. He spoke of the Gita and its message. He said that song, celestial, recommended action, karma, first, then in subsequent chapters it wanted that the karma must become untainted by any desire for fruit. Later it recommended righteousness, dharma. A few chapters later it advised that dharma has to be given up so that liberation moksha can be attained. Finally, it recommended that moksha desire has to be given up, for even that is bound. It declares that one is free all the time, even when he imagines he was bound. Awake from the ignorance. You know that your bondage was unreal. It was a dream which was denied when you woke. You're always free, liberated. You're always the Atma that can never change nor suffer. Baba left for Brindaban after few days so that he could expedite from there the construction of college he had planned. Om Sai Ram. End of chapter 10.